Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Board of Adjustment Zoning Board meeting for March 27, 2024. Call to order. Will everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here.
Mr. Esposito?
Here.
Mr. Emma?
Here.
Mr. Bella?
Here.
Mr. Heffernan?
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Notice of the meeting has been satisfied in accordance with Chapter 231, PL 1975, by advertising in the Home News Tribune, notifying the Sentinel Publishing Company and the Star Ledger, also posting on the bulletin board and filing with the Borough Clerk. We have no holdover applications. We will start with new business, and our first application is case number 24-01, Seville Memorial Post number 4699 VFW.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Casper Evan Jr. I represent Germany, representing the VFW. I'll save you my eloquence. It's a simple application. I have two variances. We're proposing to sign 33 square feet instead of 30, which is given by the ordinance. Simple 8x4 signs. Sort of difficult to pare that down. Secondly, because it is an LED sign, we also need to approve. I have with me the commander of the VFW, Stanley Kristolowski, and I also have with me Christine Gandy of Gandy Signs, whose business is at 231 Washington Road in Seville, who has designed the sign really well. First witness I'd like to call is our commander, Stanley Kristolowski.
Proceed, Mr. Van. The microphone.
First of all, thank you for bringing us down here and going through everything. Well, we're going to.
1 second.
Raise your right
You
hand.
got to raise your right hand.
Oh.
Stan.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter, so help you God?
I do.
Sworn.
Okay.
You need his last name spelled or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. PRZYBYLLWSKI. All right. I'm the commander of Post 4699. Thank you for hearing about our thing. We want to put up our sign and everything. Reason why we want to put the sign up, we want to like to advertise. It's easier. We could, people like to see their name in weddings, sweet 16s, and fundraisers. We have an old sign, just says, if you want to rent the hall, just call a certain number. So that's what we're looking for. I'm trying to get a little more modern and everything.
The LED sign will be capable of having rotating messages in the event that's necessary.
Yes,
And also it'll be a situation where people who are not familiar with the area, can they easier more locate the VFW?
correct.
I don't have any other testimony from him unless the board, of course, has any questions.
Two-sided sign?
Two-sided, yes.
Will the sign be on 24/7?
We'll have to discuss that.
Okay.
If you want to place a reasonable limitation on it, certainly we would be amenable to it. I think the signs that I've seen in the borough across the street are on all the time. And even the sign at the library, which is a lot closer to the road than our sign will be, is on 24/7.
I really don't have any objections to it. I just wanted to know whether it would be a 24/7 sign as opposed to the 8 hours, but 24/7 is fine with me. Any other questions from the board? Okay,
Now, as I say, I have Christine Gandy here. If you'd like to hear from her, I certainly would call her to the witness stand.
we can bring her.
Okay. Christine? You would need to be sworn. Raise your hand.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and nothing but the truth. Matter, so help you God.
I do. Thank you.
Spell it your last name. It's under your shirt.
Yes, it's actually two names. It is Christine, it's Gandy, Gandy, Galasso, Galasso.
And you made the application initially to Mr. Mashansky for the sign, correct?
Yes,
And you submitted to him drawings of where the sign would be located?
yes,
And I submit to you, gentlemen and ladies, that those drawings are a part of your packet. They were attached to the application. Can you describe the sign briefly to the board?
so the sign, the actual sign is 4x8, and then there's a base, which for argument's sake, we'll say it's a pole, but it's not a pole. It is a smaller cabinet, but it's taller. That's 4 foot. So that'll stand 4 foot, and then the sign is 4x8. The existing sign is 4x6. And if you see on the pictures, it's not kept up. It looks like an eyesore. The newer sign will be even set further back away from the road, which will even be more beneficial. And to answer your question, it usually is on 24/7, and it changes. So not only can it say for events, but it also can say any community needs, or if you have an emergency on that road, that can get changed immediately and put whatever needs that the municipality would like also. Since they are really community-based, and the main also reason of this sign is they raise money and they give back to the community and they give back to the local veterans. And the V, as we call it lovingly, has done a lot and given a lot. And I think they still even have more potential. And I think this sign will even help that to families in need.
And just not to reiterate, the existing sign will be removed, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay. Board have any other questions?
Any questions?
Is controlled by an app? How is the sign changed?
It is in their computer, so it's a program. So it's not like an app on their phone, but there'll be a program downloaded. And I will be initiating that and showing them how to use it. And if no one has that computer capability, since we know them and we are more generous to go there and make any changes, free of cost too, for them to make sure that they know. Because sometimes, they're not computer savvy,
Mhm.
so if they wanted to, I can have control of it too, to change it, if they're not able to do that at certain times.
Thank
So,
you.
You're welcome.
If this sign is approved, how long will it take before you actually get it on premises?
I'm gonna I'll give you a long and a short. It could be 3 to 6 months. Only for that is because we do everything the way it's supposed to be, When you dig the hole, then you have to get it inspected, and if anything needs to be changed, then you're allowed to pour. The electric is gonna be drawn in from the building to there, which they're gonna get a permit for that too. So once the basics is done, then the sign comes in. Believe it or not, the sign is the easy part of the whole project. And when we have the sign, we have total engineer signed and sealed drawings for the wind load and everything like that. So we know that safety is a main priority also.
And your company maintains that sign?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
So you're gonna have is it every 6 seconds or 8 seconds that it,
You can time it to different ones, so whichever they feel is necessary, but yes, for argument's sake, yes. You can keep it on for a longer duration or you could keep it for a shorter duration. And you can have I wouldn't put like 8 messages on there, but, anywhere from, 3 to 4 would be good. So then you can read it. You don't want to be distracted when the drivers are coming down there. But I know a lot of parking issues when there's a concert. So if they have it saying park here, that would stay on the whole time during an event, so to speak,
So when the billboard signs like this come to us, there's like, it's got to be like 6 seconds or so. Are you governed by those same rules?
What do you mean that it has to be? Who?
I guess they can't change it like
More frequently than
But-
6 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
DOT.
mean, whatever the specifications are, we'll follow that. But yes,
And then one of them is no moving, no like moving.
It doesn't, like, if you have the American flag waving, that would be a movement, but it's not like, really flashing, obliterating in driver's eyes or anything like that.
Let me
Makes
ask you another
sense?
question. A message that might be on the board, it would just be a single screen. It wouldn't be several messages in a row, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think
We're
that's-
talking about, wouldn't that be more for the highway?
Well,
Like a state regulation?
yeah, the billboards usually,
Chairman, that's correct. The DOT has guidelines for installing billboards, spacing, timing for the rotating and the visibility of the sign. That's what Mr. Kaczynski is referring to. That wouldn't be applicable for this project.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Two quick things. So, to Tom's point, 8 seconds is the standard that the DOT requires for billboards. So that was where he was coming from there. If there's a communication issue or the sign fails, does it default to a particular screen? Does it default to just turn off to a black screen?
It usually does turn off like that.
Okay.
You're not gonna see any, weird, flashing or anything like that. And this is a very reputable manufacturer, company that we get it from too. And any issues that occur, the panels, it's made of a whole bunch of different panels. They just pop off and are very easy to change. Or you open the cabinet up and it's easy to get inside the wires and see if there's any issue inside there. But like I said, our office is in Saraville, so it makes it a little more convenient because if anything happens, we can get right over there and address it right away. So.
And to some of the points that were made, some reasonable limitation on animation on the screen may be in order just for the interest of protecting motoring public and avoiding distractions along the road. So the board may want to consider that.
The restrictions like on the billboard?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not familiar with what restrictions there are on the library sign. Billboards have a whole separate set of regulations with the state DOT, but
Sign in the library is here.
No.
It's just a tad smaller, but it's a lot closer to the road.
I'm just not familiar with any limitations on it, that's all. But I'll leave that up to the board. A lot of flashing may be distracting.
Can I say something? It's not like the open signs that you see in people's windows that are flashing like this constantly. Usually it's a message and then another message comes off with words. Sometimes they can put like a clip art. Like I said, the only thing that I've seen was, and even had in the picture, that American flag, and it just waves. Like it's not flashing lights at you, and it'll just do that for a few seconds and then it has its other message, so to speak. Or for a holiday, it might have some sort of, background and you'll see it just going into the next filtering, but it's not like going like this at you. Does that make sense?
Yes, no
Okay.
strobe lights or anything
No,
like that.
no,
Okay.
yeah.
Not going to give you a stroke or anything.
Did I do it okay?
the street.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Joan, but first of all, I don't know if I have the opportunity, thank you, extremely thank you very much for your service to our country. Do we charge the VFW for permits? We don't charge it, right?
To be honest with you,
Do we charge you?
Well,
Good, okay, I'm glad. Okay, I just wanted to see.
Application fee and escrow fees to be here, but That I know because I delivered the checks.
Gotcha,
Other than-
gotcha. No, I'm glad we don't. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I have nothing further. It's a very simple application, as I indicated, so I'll save you my eloquence and I won't do a summation. If you have any questions, obviously, ask me.
Do you have any other witnesses that you're going to?
No other witnesses that I need to call. Officer Kelly is still Officer Kelly to me, but he's here, but he would just be redundant to what has been already testified to.
Okay, I'm going to open this to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing no one, I want to close the public portion. I need a second.
Second?
What's the pleasure of the board concerning this application?
Yeah, you made a motion and you got a second. You need at least an all in favor.
Oh, okay.
Closing.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all in favor.
What's the pleasure of the board in reference to this application?
Make a motion to approve the application.
And before you do that, are
Either
there
one.
any conditions that you want on it? Because I know if you want them to speak now or forever hold your peace.
I don't have any conditions. Anyone have any conditions? No conditions. I need a roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Bella?
Yes.
Mr. Tackleman?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
Okay, it's been approved. We'll memorialize it next month and you're all set to go.
Thank you very much for your time. I realize it's the only one on your agenda, so I appreciate you coming out this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
behalf of the veterans, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
See you soon. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night. Next on our agenda is we have two resolutions, moralizations of last month's meetings. The first one is 23-22, which is Lobulo LLC, 3191 Bordentown Avenue. Has everyone had the opportunity to read the moralization from the zoning board attorney? Is everyone in agreement with that moralization? Everyone's in agreement. I need a roll call vote on it.
I move that the memorialization be approved as written.
Second.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Bella?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
The second moralization is 23-23, which is Santee Realty Holding LLC, 1788 Route 35 North. Has everyone had the opportunity to read the moralization from the board attorney?
Yes.
Is there any changes or corrections that anyone sees in reference to this moralization? If not, I need a roll call vote on it.
I move that the resolution be approved as written.
Second.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Bella?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
And the last thing is, has everyone had the opportunity to read the minutes of our February 28th meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Everyone approve of those minutes in its entirety?
Yes.
Minutes have been Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote on the minutes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Bella?
Yes.
Is there any other motions or business to come before this board? Hearing none, make a motion for adjournment.
I move the meeting be adjourned.
A motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.